Elon Musk is reportedly preparing what could become the largest IPO in human history, with SpaceX being discussed at a valuation close to $1.75 trillion. If that happens, it would instantly place the company above major U.S. defense contractors combined, and even bigger than giants like Coca-Cola, Disney, Nike, McDonald's, and McDonald's-level consumer brands altogether. But the most surprising part isn't the valuation itself. It's who might end up buying it. Because within weeks of listing, your retirement account, index funds, and pension funds could become some of the biggest buyers of SpaceX stock. Not because you actively choose it, but because the financial system automatically forces it. And right now, a quiet rule change in the market may be making that process even faster. But before we understand that, we need to clear up one major misunderstanding. SpaceX is not just a rocket company. Most people think rockets when they hear SpaceX, or maybe Mars missions and space exploration. But in reality, SpaceX is built on three separate businesses working together, and rockets are only one part of the system. The first part is the rocket business itself. This is what launches satellites into orbit, supplies the International Space Station, supports NASA missions, and handles government and defense contracts. Last year, this segment generated around $4 billion in revenue, which sounds massive until you compare it to a company being valued near $1.75 trillion. And more importantly, rockets are not the main profit engine anymore. They are the foundation that enables everything else. The second and most powerful part of SpaceX is Starlink. Starlink is a satellite internet network that delivers global connectivity using thousands of satellites orbiting Earth, beaming internet directly to small ground terminals, with over 10 million users across more than 100 countries, making it one of the fastest scaling telecom networks in history. In 2025 alone, Starlink reportedly generated around $11.4 billion in revenue, making it the largest revenue contributor inside SpaceX. But what makes Starlink truly important is not just revenue, it's profitability and scale efficiency. Its margins have expanded from around 40% to over 60% in just 2 years. And Starlink is not just residential internet anymore. It now powers airlines, maritime shipping, remote industries, and even classified defense communications. So while rockets create the image of SpaceX, Starlink is what actually funds the entire ecosystem. The third layer is the most controversial and the most uncertain. The AI ecosystem connected to Elon Musk's companies, often centered around xAI. xAI was created to compete directly with companies like OpenAI and Anthropic, and it launched with top engineers from DeepMind, Google, and OpenAI. However, the reality has been unstable. The company has reportedly burned over $1 billion per month, and over time, its founding team has largely left. Even Elon Musk later admitted the system needed to be rebuilt from the ground up, highlighting how early and volatile this division still is compared to its massive valuation expectations. So, when you combine everything, SpaceX becomes a strange mix of three forces: rockets providing stable government-backed revenue, Starlink generating fast-growing high-margin cash flow, and AI representing high-risk future potential. Together, it creates a company that is powerful, but financially complex and highly dependent on how each division scales. And this leads to the biggest question: who is actually going to buy SpaceX at this valuation? The answer might not be traditional investors, it might be the financial system itself. Because NASDAQ has introduced a new fast entry rule that changes how companies enter major indexes like the NASDAQ 100. This matters because when a company enters a major index, passive funds like ETFs and retirement accounts are forced to buy it automatically. Under the old system, companies had to wait about 3 months after IPO before being eligible. Now, that window has been reduced to just 15 trading days. That means the time for price discovery has been compressed dramatically, and passive buying begins much earlier in the life of the stock. Even more importantly, free float requirements have been relaxed. SpaceX is reportedly planning to go public with only around 4–5% of shares available for trading. Yet it could still qualify under these updated rules. On top of that, weighting adjustments for low-float companies can increase how much passive funds are forced to buy, effectively amplifying demand right after listing. At the same time, retail investors are expected to play a major role, with reports suggesting up to 30% of IPO allocation may go to individual buyers. That is unusually high for a company of this size, and it means early demand will not just come from institutions, but also from the public from day one. So when you step back, the picture becomes clear. A nearly $1.75 trillion company built on rockets, satellites, and AI is entering the public market at the exact moment index rules are changing. Passive funds are being forced to buy faster. Retail investors are being pulled in early, and the publicly tradable supply is extremely limited, which creates a strange outcome. Most buyers won't actually choose SpaceX. They will be automatically assigned it through index funds, retirement accounts, and passive investing systems. And that is the real shift happening here. Because passive investing was designed to make investing simple, diversified, and low cost. But the same system that removes decision-making also removes control over what you end up owning. And now, with one of the biggest IPOs in history approaching, that system is about to be tested like never before. And if this made you question how investing really works, then watch this next video. Give me 1 minute, and I'll fix your fear of investing. Because before you invest in anything, you need to understand your fear first.